I'm a $30,000 a month closer. And if you're a beginner watching this, you're probably thinking, how do I actually get into high ticket sales if I have zero experience? And you're probably also wondering at the same time, is this whole thing legit or is this just another internet scam? So that's exactly what we're going to discuss today. I went from owning my own business as a car dealership to completely switching to high ticket remote sales because I was making $20, $30, even $40,000 a month some months for some of your favorite influencers. I've worked for V-Shred. I've closed over $5 million and made well over $500,000 in personal commissions hitting my bank account. And at the same time, I've also helped out dozens of other people get placed and trained in the exact same position where they're making $5, $10, even up to $60,000 a month. So in this video, I'm going to break down everything you need to know as a complete beginner to get into high ticket sales, avoid the mistakes that kill most people's careers before they even start. And I'll show you the exact path that I would take if I was starting from zero today with zero experience in the industry. And first is actually understanding what is high ticket sales. So you're not just selling some random product to strangers on the phone. You work for influencers, for course creators who already have an audience on Instagram, YouTube, and they're posting daily content to attract potential customers. Your job is just to talk to those people who already are interested in what you're selling. The leads are warm. There's no cold calls. These people have been watching the influencer for months, already enjoy the content, and they've already seen the lifestyle that these influencers have, the results and the proof behind what they offer. By the time those leads talk to you, they're already about 80% sold. So you get paid the commission on every sale that you make of those people. And you get paid a commission on every sale you make for the influencer. Most programs range between like $2,000 all the way up to $10,000 for B2C. And most B2B go from $10,000 all the way up to $40,000 in ticket price if you're selling B2B. Your commission is typically 5 to 15% on each sale. So this means you can make an extra $100 to $1,000 per deal every single time you close a new sale. But you also have to understand what is the actual sales roles behind this industry. So to start out with, you can start out as an appointment setter or you can skip right to a closer. The appointment setters are best for beginners for multiple reasons. You get actually quality leads to book them into calls for closers. So you get an idea of how the industry works, how your offer works, and what is the main mechanisms that people want most to be able to book a call. These are lower pressure because you're not actually collecting the payment. So you make anywhere from like 3 to 7% commission on deals that close that you set. So if you set a call and they close for 10 grand, and your commission is 5%, then you'll get $500. You can realistically make about $2,000 to $7,000 per month as a setter, and some setter roles actually have a base commission, which makes it really appealing. If you're actually trying to get into the industry, you need a little bit of income, but you don't want to be a closer just yet, or you haven't landed a closer role. You can start off as a setter and then eventually ascend up into a closer role. Closer is the other side of this, so there is a higher income potential. I was a closer. I was never a setter, but most of you can do the same too. Just become a closer if you're well trained. But if you're not well trained and you try to do this on your own, then you'll probably start out as a setter. So closers do have a higher income ranging from 10 all the way up to 15, 17, even 18%. Some of them even go up to 20%, just depending on the commission structure. But a good offer that has enough leads will compensate their closers usually at between 8 to 12%. That is the average that I've seen. You're the only one who's actually collecting the payments on the call. So the business owner is really relying on you as a closer. So they want someone who's trained, professional, and ready to go. You need to handle the objections that come on the calls. So you have to overcome fear to actually make that commission. So that's the difference between a setter and a closer. Setter, a little bit less stressful, closer, a little bit more stressful, but obviously a lot more return on your time. Top closers can make anywhere from $20,000 all the way up to $50,000 a month, just closing deals that are already set to their calendar. And this is really what I got up to making, was in that $50,000, $60,000 a month on really good months, and then averaging out around 23 to 25 grand a month throughout my 2 years of closing. But choosing the right market to work in is very important. And we need to discuss that because it doesn't matter if you're a setter or closer. The most important thing is choosing an evergreen market that solves real problems. To give you an example of this, you can be in the health space, which is fitness coaching, weight loss, nutrition. You can be in wealth coaching, which is business coaching, trading, anything to do with investing in real estate, building up your portfolio, which I love that industry. Relationships, dating, coaching, marriage counseling, how to actually find and attract a girlfriend. You've probably seen some of those offers. You really want to avoid these get-rich-quick schemes and go towards an evergreen market so you don't have to find a new offer every 6 months. You're just on an offer. You can stay there for 3, 4, 5 years and really grow into your role, maybe become a sales manager, which we're going to get into in a little bit. The bigger problem you solve, the more they will actually pay you. So example of this is a 40-year-old executive will pay around $10,000 to learn real estate investing or how to retire early through the stock market. But if you look at like a teenager who's just trying to make more money online, who has very little spending power, they don't even have a full-time job, maybe they work part-time, they're in like $1,000 a month, it's going to be very tough to sell them a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 course on, making more income online because they have so little buying power and income, and it's a lot of fear that you have to overcome. So looking at the offer with what demographic you help, it might be a little weird at first. You're talking to 40, 50, 60-year-olds, but I promise you, you'll get through it very quickly and you'll get really used to the industry as a whole, talking to older people. By the way, if you're watching this and this sounds like something you want to actually try, I want to help you get started right away in the industry. We have a really sick offer. If you click the first link in the description, we will train and place you within 30 days or you don't pay. And in fact, I'll show you just how many positions we have available on our system, just so you can see how many roles. So this is just this week. Just this week, there are over 100 roles that are hiring. And so if any of this interests you, you're probably thinking in your head, well, how do I actually get hired for these roles? Don't worry. If you book a call with my team, and if we can help you out in the mentorship, this is where we walk you through exactly how to land the role, the skills you need to build up, the exact framework. And so you can actually start earning 5 to 10K right away within 30 to 90 days. We've had people join our group who actually land an offer within like 7 days. And then they're on the offer, they're making money, they're working remotely. And the best part is you can do this part-time when you're starting out, and then you could transition to it full-time. That's exactly what I did when I owned my own dealership, my own business. I did it part-time in the evenings and on the weekends while I was going through my divorce. Then once I made over 12 grand, I decided to switch over to this full-time and just go head first, full-time remote sales. And that's when I started making 20, 30 grand a month. Okay. So this is some of the roles. We have wealth coaching for women, which is 5 to 8K a month. We have here 150K to 400K, which is client acquisition for personal injury law firms, 300K college admission advising, 10K a month for women's health, meditation coaching for professionals, 72K a month for marketing, women's health again, marketing auto repair shops, done for you e-com stores, personal development, AI coaching. And you can see the income ranges here. They're super, super good. Some of them are obviously starting out entry level around 5K, 4K, 6K for a setter role. But if you're on a closing role, especially for, finance career offer, 11K, $7,850 per month on average for a tax planning firm, property rental coaching. We just have so many. We have tons and tons. In fact, this week, we've never had so many roles available for our students. So if this sounds like something that you want to actually achieve in your life and you want to get into the remote high ticket sales space, it has never been easier and harder at the same time. As long as you have the training and connections, it'll be easy. If you try to do it on your own, you can definitely do it, but it will be more challenging. So if you want to cut the check for speed and you want to actually get a position and train right away, go ahead and click the link down below, book a call with my team, and we're going to see if it's a good fit. But let's keep going. So finding the right influencers to work for and how to look for creators that actually have a certain amount of audience big enough to actually have leads coming in. If they're too small, now the cool thing is the smaller the creator, you'll actually be able to reach out to them and they actually respond to you. Now, what I mean by this is in their DMs, if you see a Instagram influencer, let's say you go online. So what we'll do is we'll run an actual situation here. Let's go to YouTube and let's go real estate. Now, if we look up the real estate niche here, you can see we have all these different people. Now, I guarantee you at least half these people are selling a mastermind, a program of some sort, even the real estate agents, they're trying to get your business. And there are literally people running mentorships everywhere. And so what you do is you get in contact with these people by looking through if they have a business email or if they have an actual Instagram page that you can go on, you can DM them and you can say, I'm interested in your mentorship in the tagline. So then it gets their attention. And then you can go into it with a custom Loom video that you created for them. It has to be custom. I have not seen this work without it being custom. But as you're doing your research, you can see which niche you want to be in. Obviously, I looked up real estate, but you can be in any niche you want. Perfect. Now that you've found the influencer, what you want to look for next is they've been selling their program for at least 6 months and they have a proven track record of student results. They have an established system and process for current sales teams, making good money. And overall, it's an operation that you can plug right into, make a good amount of money, your 5 to 15K a month, and then they can get their leads they want closed and you can get the money that you want. So it becomes very mutually beneficial for everyone. Now, some red flags to avoid is there's no public testimonials or student results. You also want to avoid if it's basically like a brand new course they launched or there's like a weird payment structure or delayed commissions. The way that we sell in the industry is very simple. You sell the program or the course and they pay you either bi-weekly or monthly, which a lot of them pay monthly. They shouldn't have to wait like 6, 12 months for you to get paid. That's a little strange. And you also don't want someone who just hires anyone that messages them. So how do you actually land the first job once you find the first thing you want to do is create a Loom video. So if you guys don't know what a Loom is, this is a Loom video right here. So what you're going to want to do is click on this, download it on your Mac or whatever you have, PC, whatever you got. And you're going to create a video of yourself personally for this offer. Now, the reason why it has to be personal is you don't want it to sound robotic or just like, oh, hey, I've applied for 20 other positions today with this exact video. You want it to be very specific. So if you remember so let's say you're making a video for Chris. What you're going to say is, hey, Chris, my name is this. I have this background experience, even if no sales experience. I've taken this training program and I've worked in the restaurant space, or I've worked in communication space, or I have a little bit of sales background. And I think it's going to translate well. And I've looked through your funnel and this is what I've noticed. It's really well dialed in for YouTube and ads. And I think I'd be a great fit to actually help you hit your goals in terms of revenue. I'd love to jump on a call, really walk you through what I'm good at and see if it's a good fit. Boom. Explain your background, your interests, why you're a good fit. Keep it under 3 minutes. Now you want to make sure you have a good backdrop as well and good audio. There's many different ways to get a good backdrop. The first one is you can just go to a simple hotel lobby and you can just record a nice video. If you look at some hotel lobbies, there'll be a little space like this. Plug your laptop there. I promise you it'll help you land a role much quicker. In terms of audio, if you don't have perfect mics, what you could do is with AI, once you create your Loom video, is you can actually amplify the voice of your audio, or you can try to just clean it up with AI to make it sound professional. There's many different apps to do this. I'm not going to walk you through exactly which apps because it depends on what exactly you want to use. But good audio, good background is a must, and then follow that script. Who you are, what's your background? If it's not sales, relate it back to sales on how good you are at communication. Look through their actual funnel and tell them, I looked through your funnel. This is what I saw. I love this, because people don't want to work with people who literally don't even know what the business is. Now, once you created one video, what you want to do is send 5 to 10 more personalized outreach messages daily, just like that. Research the influencer before reaching out. Reference specific content they posted and not just their funnel. Explain how you can help their business and really grow that consistently. So as you send 5 to 10 per day, it's going to stack and grow, and you should be able to get a position pretty shortly. What to expect in your first 90 days? I'm going to give you really realistic expectation of this so you don't get it all twisted. Now, there's essentially 2 paths. You do it in the mentorship. Obviously, we give you opportunities, just like the list you saw earlier, of literally over 100 positions just on that. I'm sure next month we'll have more as well. So you can just go and boom, 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 apply to all of them. We filter them all out for you. Those are good, reputable offers. Okay. We also give you the training. But the second path is doing it on your own. So I'm going to walk you through that. Month 1 is learning the ropes and getting comfortable doing this on your own. Getting comfortable with the Zoom app and the Looms and getting your audio dialed in. Maybe fixing your facial presentation, getting a new barber, getting a new shirt, getting a nice, taking care of your skin. I don't know what it is. Just making yourself look a lot more professional. And if you're already at that professional level, perfect. Then you got through step 1. Okay. Focus on learning the actual script as well. So as you're going through these personalized videos, don't just, rinse and repeat, because this is a lot of what sales is. It seems like the same thing over and over that you're saying, but really it's personalized individually to each person. So if you recognize that an influencer has a lot more of a laid back personality, then follow that suit. Be laid back, be chill, and then get through it. Listen to the other reps on the call as well. So what you're going to do is go on YouTube, look at as much free content as possible on sales. Now, granted, take that with a grain of salt, because not all industries are specific to high ticket sales coaching. You don't want to follow a sales script of, if they're selling insurance or if they're selling cars, because it's totally different. That's a totally different vehicle that they're selling, quite literally. Month 2 is building the momentum and consistency. So at this point, if you're doing 5 to 10 outreaches a day, you'll probably get close to landing an offer or land an offer on your own. It is more challenging, so it does take a lot of time on your own. But this is where you build momentum. So you want to earn your first 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 in commissions. And then you just keep developing your own style and approach as you get feedback from your manager regularly. And then month 3 is really hitting your stride as a performer. So targeting 3 to 6 grand in monthly commissions. Consider moving up to a closer if you started as a setter, and building your skills. That's really the 90-day progression on your own. Now, we've seen students do this a lot quicker, like I said, within 7 days. And if you want those quicker results, definitely, again, book a call with the link down below with my team. We'll walk you through how it works, but we do guarantee it within 30 days or you literally don't pay. Of course, there's an investment up front, so don't come in thinking, oh, it's free and then I'll pay if... No, there's an investment up front for our time. And we're so confident that we'll get you placed within 30 days that if you don't, then we literally give you your money back. So that's literally how it works. But what you're thinking at this time is, well, this might sound a little more complicated, but it sounds pretty cool. And that's exactly what I was thinking when I first started out. I started out part-time and it changed my entire life. I did 2 full months of part-time, more like 2.5. And on my 3rd month, I went all in and I just went ham. And so I've helped literally dozens of other people do the same exact thing with their life as well. Get land positions on reputable roles, train them up. So if that sounds like what you want to do and you want exactly step-by-step hand-holding one-on-ones, then book a call down below and then we'll get you up to a really good income range, just like we have our other students as